Welcome to the Mould Doctor. With mould and its dangers being a hot topic in the print, radio and TV media, we are far more educated and nervous when it comes to mould and its health hazards, and the importance of remediating in the shortest possible time frame. With mould being so well reported, you need to make sure that you allow a professional service like us here at the Mould Doctor to professionally investigate, report and treat the mould to ensure it is a quick, stress-free solution for you and your family. If you send a quote request through to us, we have a number of dedicated client services team members who will be happy to schedule an initial inspection where the technician will inspect the home and report on all visible mould infestations throughout. The great news is this service is free and without obligation. You can be rest assured that all the Mould Doctor technicians have been highly trained to report on the mould infestation and causation. Within the report, you'll see photos, information regarding the causation, treatment and preventative recommendations, and a quote for eliminating the mould and preventative options for you to consider. Generally speaking, mould occurs from condensation, lack of ventilation, or moisture ingress from building or plumbing defects. So we take moisture and humidity readings and check for any obvious building defects that may have allowed moisture ingress, as mould needs a food source to grow. If there is a musty or damp odour, we're able to complete a decontamination fogging at the time of inspection or take air samples for testing at a low cost to your owner. The air samples are taken for analysis by the microbiologists at AEML Laboratory, and you will receive a detailed report from the microbiologist that includes the mould species and the total spore count found. Based on the results of the findings, if mould and spores are present, a quotation will be provided with treatment and preventative options. Once you have received the report and quote, we do not move forward with any treatments until approval is given. You will then be provided with a pre-treatment information sheet that includes information regarding the treatment process, why you need to vacate the home, and to ensure furniture is moved away from walls from areas that have visible mould. So how does our treatment work? Treatment includes a unique two-step mould remediation process. In step 1, we remove all visible mould and microclean the area with a unique product formula that can penetrate all hard surfaces, that in most cases will remove mould stains. However, if mould has been painted over or paint is defective, some staining may remain. In most cases, post-treatment painting is not required unless the paint is cracked and peeling. However, mould in grout and silicone cannot be treated and needs to be replaced. Step 2. Whenever there is visible mould, there are always invisible mould spores present in the air. These spores can move freely around the house. Because of this, once we remove the visible mould, the entire living space is fogged to eliminate all species of airborne mould spores, bacteria, and chemical VOCs. The fogging process is best described as the spreading of a very fine mist similar to the steam created during a hot shower. During this process, we can remove and dispose of mould-affected carpet, skirting board, smooth edge, plaster and underlay. We will advise you within our original report if this is required and recommend you engaging a trade to replace this once we have completed our treatment. Unfortunately, we are unable to treat carpet, blinds, curtains, grout and silicone, popcorn ceilings, motor vehicles and wet areas, but we will tell you this within our original report. On completion of the treatment, we will forward you a post-treatment report with before and after photos and outline any further recommendations to consider on ways to prevent the mould from returning. Our fogging product has been developed by a chemical engineer and chartered scientist Australian chemist who has specialised in air quality solutions for 30 years. The fogging product is produced under licence and is exclusive to the Mould Doctor. We are often asked, is the fogging process harmful to furniture children, or animals? The simple answer is no. It is non-hazardous and has been extensively tested as such by the microbiology department at Monash University in Melbourne. Notwithstanding this, we do ask that the property is vacated during treatment, as a 2-hour containment period is always required to ensure bacteria is eliminated when the technician leaves the premises. Even if mould is visible in only one room, we do fog the entire house, as the spores will easily spread into the entire living space. If the entire dwelling is not fogged, then the mould may return in the other rooms under the right conditions. The mould remediation won't harm any contents. You can even leave the fruit bowl out if you want. There are over 100,000 different species of mould, all different colours and varieties. Our processes will eliminate all of them. Over the last 15 years, the Mould Doctor fogging process has eliminated mould in more than 65,000 domestic and commercial properties, including schools, aged care facilities, hospitals, police stations, and apartment complexes. Mould is a serious issue with serious health effects for those living within the property and should not be taken lightly. By treating only the symptoms, in other words, the mould infestation, and not the cause, which could be high humidity, moisture ingress, building defects, etc., the mould is likely to return and will cause long-term issues for all parties. By trusting the Mould Doctor and following all of our treatment and preventative recommendations, your owner's asset is guaranteed for 12 months from mould returning to the areas treated professionally by us. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty of mould, and why is it all of a sudden happening now? Who is at fault? Who is to blame? There are many variables regarding mould causation. Many old and new properties alike have building defects, allowing moisture ingress, which can be as simple as blocked gutters or a leaking pipe, defective paintwork, no ventilation system in the bathroom, and so on. There is also a massive problem with condensation in properties, particularly apartments during the cooler months. The condensation elevates the humidity. When humidity exceeds 55%, the conditions are ideal for mould to grow. High rainfall and cold weather will exacerbate this. Modern apartments are required by law to be extremely well sealed against air ingress from the outside. The Building Code of Australia requires all new apartments to have airtight seals around doors, windows, and other openings into the building to minimise the requirement to heat and cool apartments. The Building Commission has stated that where the requirements of the Building Code have been complied with, the responsibility for controlling condensation by maintaining adequate ventilation through the installation and use of exhaust fans or other means is the responsibility of the owner. How can mould be prevented? During normal occupancy of an apartment, residents will shower, cook, and wash and dry clothes. All these activities produce moisture, which is exhausted to the outside by bathroom or kitchen exhaust fans. These should be of good working order and able to be run for an extended period after use by using a run-on timer. In 50% of properties we inspect, there is bathroom mould. The old-style heater exhaust fans are not efficient in extracting moisture, as the built-in heater elevates the humidity and provides ideal conditions for mould to grow. We can upgrade an old system to a high extraction rate unit that will remove condensation at the rate of 76 litres per second. The system has a built-in adjustable run-on timer, allowing it to run for up to 15 minutes after the switch being turned off, ensuring all moisture is extracted externally. In many situations, we also recommend the use of a dehumidifier, particularly for areas that have high levels of condensation. During the cooler months, when condensation is an issue, opening windows actually allows moisture to enter the living space. This is where a dehumidifier is best utilised, to absorb the moisture from the air, be collected into a tray, and able to be tipped outside or down the sink. We recommend desiccant dehumidifiers in the southern states rather than compressor dehumidifiers, as they are designed to operate best in non-tropical climates, are very quiet, and more effective during the colder weather when condensation is an issue. Our dehumidifiers will stop collecting water once the set humidity level has been reached and have a laundry mode, fantastic for drying clothes. At the time of treatment, our tech will set up the dehumidifier and instruct the renter on its proper use. At times, when a building defect is noted within our reports, we will recommend further investigation by your preferred tradesperson, leak detection specialist or plumber, etc., to assist in preventing the mould from returning. It is very important that all steps are followed. The mould is not just painted over or ignored, as again, this will cause long-term issues. To request an inspection or for more details, our client services team will be delighted to hear from you. Please give us a call on 1300 944 595 or go to our website, themouldDoctor.com.au or email info@themouldDoctor.com.au.